What's up, guys? Happy Motivational Mishy Monday. Blech, that's a mouthful. This is episode 3 and we are talking about how to defeat writer's block. Y'all, this is a good topic to talk about. It was brought to us by Tanae Jordan, aka Tanae J. She is the CEO of Melanin Mike. You guys go check her blog out, merch and everything. I'm gonna put all her stuff at the end of this video so you guys can follow her blog, get some merch, you know what it is. So, as a writer, writer's block is so difficult to get through sometimes, and it really hinders me from continuing to write. And I know that there are a lot of writers out there who are like, how do you defeat this? How do we move past it? And honestly, like, while I don't have all the answers, I do have a few tips that could possibly help. Tip number 1, you're not alone. You are not alone in writer's block. And I think that's like one of those like, well, yeah, duh type tips. But seriously, sometimes when you're writing your own piece and you are stuck, you can feel like, man, like I bet some of the greatest writers never felt like this. I bet they never hit walls because they're just so talented in everything they do. But no, everybody, all writers have hit writer's block at some point. So just be encouraged that you're not the only one. You aren't hitting writer's block because you're an amateur. Everybody goes through it. So that's tip number 1. Know that you're not alone. Tip number 2, while you're writing, it's so easy to just try to force yourself through the wall of writer's block because you're like, oh, I have to get this done. Maybe you have a deadline. Maybe you're just like, oh, I have to finish my hour that I've set aside today to write something, so I just have to force it. Sometimes you just shouldn't force it. It's kind of like you're not gonna bang your head up against a brick wall just to try to get through it. Sometimes you have to step back and think of a way around it, or over it, or under it, or whatever. So it's definitely good of you to practice your craft. Like, of course you want to like try to keep writing, but it's also not healthy for you to just force it and just come up with some, weak part of your piece just because you're trying to force your way through it. So sometimes it's just not best to force it. Just take a step back, rearrange your thinking, rethink your outline, whatever you need to do. Hand in hand with that, sometimes you just have to let it flow. Sometimes you have to sit back and instead say, okay, like, I'm not gonna write about this right now, but I'm gonna just get all my thoughts out. Because sometimes our minds can just be so clouded with the day. Maybe you had a hard time at work. Maybe you just, have something going on, like a situation relationally or whatever it is, and you just have to get that out first. So maybe you just gotta have to step back from your piece, your novel, your paper, whatever, and just go to the side and just let your thoughts flow on paper there. Just completely forget about where you are in this writer's block. Just go ahead and write down what you need to and just let that flow first. And that honestly has helped me before, like just stepping aside and being like, I can't do this right now, my mind's too clouded, writing something else, and then I can get back to it and maybe your writer's block will be gone. Maybe that's the cure. You never know. Next tip, seek advice or help. Now sometimes, our pieces, our writing, it's our baby. We don't want to go to anybody else about it. Like, we don't want to talk about it. We're like, if we're experts at this, we shouldn't have to talk to anybody. Lies. That's what publishers and editors are for, to talk about the writing. So find yourself an accountability partner, your best friend, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your whoever. Just find somebody and be like, yo, I'm stuck. How can you help me? I don't know what to say here. I don't know what my character's gonna do. I don't know how to finish this poetry piece. What's a word that rhymes with this? Like, literally find somebody, a mentor, to help you. Seek advice. Because honestly, maybe they're, not an expert at writing, but maybe they can literally take a look at your piece and think of something outside of the box that you're in. Because that writer's block can be really solid, yo. It can be really solid. So yes, seek advice and help from anybody. And honestly, that could really help just expand your mind as to what you need to do. You know what I mean? This tip is for all like my bloggers, my people who post their work on social media. Sometimes we have that pressure of like, okay, like I have to post this today or I have to post this like this week, that we hit a writer's block because we're so intent on finishing it now, or like during this, specific time frame. And so that whole pressure to post or not to post, we just gotta let it go. We gotta let it go, because sometimes it can hinder us from really saying what we want to say. Instead of like just saying what we need to say and like getting it out, then we're starting to double think, well, what if this person gets offended? Or what if this, like, you just have to just breathe, stop. And sometimes you may not even need to post what you're writing. How many times have I written a blog post and literally been like, oh my goodness, I'm writing this and this was mostly just for me. I'm not even gonna post it. I've done that several times. So maybe you don't even need to post what you're writing. Maybe this is just for you. Maybe you just have to like get through it. So yeah, just go ahead and get that whole pressure of posting and non-posting, sharing and not sharing out of your mind, and just write. And maybe that writer's block wall will disappear. Yes, one of my favorite tips, and I think this is the last one, is to read a book. Yes, go to somebody else's piece of work and read it. And this isn't so you can plagiarize a work. That's a big no-no. This is for you to get inspired elsewhere. So when I'm stuck on poetry, when I feel like I'm just driving on and on saying the same stuff over and over again, I literally go to another poet's work and I just read it and I like engulf it, and I'm so inspired because I'm like, wow, this is beautiful. This is a beautiful piece of work, and I can create my own beautiful piece. And sometimes that's all I need. Sometimes I just need that inspiration to be like, yo, I can do this. Like, I know I can. And so it'll just expand my mind in that area. So maybe you need to read a piece of poetry, a piece of fiction, some nonfiction, a biography, something to help you just completely forget about your writer's block wall and say, hey, okay, I'm stuck right now, but I'm gonna be able to read this piece and read this work and be like totally inspired. And once I'm inspired, then I can sit down and be like, I can do this. Look, it's happened to me several times. So I've got lots of people I've read while I'm writing something else, and it's been such a helpful tool to me. So definitely read some other people's work, even if it's like another blogger or another post on social media. Inspired to Write, y'all, at Inspired to Write, one of the best Instagrams for writers. I just recently followed her and she's amazing. I really want to get her book because all her stuff about writing and creatives and all this stuff, it's so simple, but it's so profound and it's wise and it's so relatable. So all my writers should go follow her. But yeah, those are all my tips for writer's block, getting past that wall. If you're a writer and you have your own tips, please tell me in the comments because I could totally use some encouragement with this as well. Also, again, this topic was brought to us by Tanae Jordan. All of her socials, you can find her here. Please follow, please get the merch, y'all. Support my sis. She's amazing. Read her blog. You might get inspired by it, just saying. So yeah, I hope you like this video. All my writers, all my non-writers, if you maybe are dabbling in writing, I hope you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up. If you did, share it with someone, share it with a writer friend if you think that they'll be inspired by it. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel, yo. I would love that. I would love it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I can't wait to see you next Monday to talk about whatever we're going to talk about. I love y'all.